So we made it into Indy this morning for the Custom Car Revival, spent a little time at the Host Hotel parking lot, and now we're here, John Force Racing, for a tour. It's going to be a pretty good day.
It was awesome of Kevin Anderson of Custom Car Revival to set up the tour for us at John Force Racing. And unfortunately, there's many areas of John Force Racing we can't show you because it's an active race team and there's proprietary information going on with a lot of parts they make because they build so much stuff in-house. So we're going to show you a little of the museum, and you can see all these trucks here. Each of those trucks is a different race team that races for John Force Racing. There's 4 dragsters, there's 4 funny cars. And on average, when one of those trucks leaves for a weekend of racing, you can bet on spending about $190,000 for that truck, the crew, the consumables, everything like that. And that's if you don't break anything. So, very expensive hobby at the top end, but very cool to get to see an in-depth look at it. After there, we went over to Antron Brown Racing. A friend of mine has a buddy who works there, so we got to see this dragster up close and personal, and try not to show too much of it there. It was pretty cool. Then after that, we went over to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, just a small group of our friends. And I'm going to tell you right now, rolling into this tunnel right here in a Honda is just not nearly as cool as rolling into it in a Galaxy with a big block. But the Galaxy's broken down, so I do whatever I can, you know? Drove a little Honda out there this weekend, which is really good for gas mileage. So once inside, we went into the museum, and if you've never been, you have to put this on a bucket list. It's hallowed ground. Just to see all these machines that actually raced here over the last 100+ years, it's an amazing thing. And to see just what they were willing to drive for 500 miles to chase glory. Unfortunately, 73 people have lost their lives at the racetrack over its history. Kind of a sad fact, but that's kind of it's been a dangerous sport for a long time. It's getting safer for sure, but look at the beauty of these cars. These guys a lot of them didn't have seat belts in the early days. Their helmet was just a piece of cloth. I mean, it's essentially a cotton piece of cloth on your head, you know? Very cool stuff, though, to see how it progressed over the 100 years. There's the turbo era, just all kinds of cool stuff. So you have to... If you get the chance to go, you've got to go check out the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
All right, finally checked into the room in Indianapolis for the Custom Car Revival. That hotel over there is the Host Hotel behind this building. And there are already a ton of cool customs here in town. So today already we went to John Force Racing. We toured that. We went to Antron Brown's race shop, which got some very up close and personal look at his top fuel dragster. And then we went to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and checked out the museum there. So we have a little rain rolling through. As soon as it's done, we'll get back out there. We'll hang out with all the people, and I'll show you more videos for the Custom Car Revival.
So if you didn't know what this show is all about, obviously the name is Custom Cars Only. So does that mean a modified Mustang isn't allowed? No, it doesn't. It's talking about traditional rods and custom. We're talking Westergaard era through Watson era. So late 30s tail draggers all the way up to the crazy paint job stuff that Larry Watson was doing in the early to mid 60s. Really, that's all they're looking for. There's no hot rods, there's no muscle cars, there's no stock cars. You have to have at least one body mod, or you have to have Larry Watson style paint on the car. So that kind of narrows it down. And there's so many cool cars at this show. One of the great things about it was within minutes of us getting there, we already had friends coming up to us, both myself and my buddy Butch. He hasn't been to this show ever, and we got friends he hasn't seen for 20 years coming up out of the blue and stopping and talking to him as soon as we got there. One of the cool things about this show is this Host Hotel parking lot has, 60% of the cars that are at the show are here. So if you go and you come in, or you go to the show and you're there early and you're there on Friday, you get to look around and see a lot of the cars before you're at the show with all the other spectators. There's also a little bit more room at the Host Hotel, so you kind of get to walk around the cars a little bit more and get a better feel for what you're going to be seeing at the show on Saturday. The custom community is just one that's full of friends. It's full of people who have been buddies for years because we all have this strange sickness where we dig old school custom cars. And I'm going to tell you right now, even the coolest one amongst us is still kind of a nerd when it comes to this stuff. So you kind of just have to go with the flow and enjoy it and soak up all the knowledge of the guys who have come before you, because they are willing to talk to you and willing to tell you what they did back in the day. And it's just a great learning experience to see all this custom stuff in one spot. Some of the paint jobs here on some of these cars are just outstanding. I'm kind of particular to this one right here. I mean, just a flat black car. I mean, I'll take that. I can afford that paint job probably a little more than the other ones. Anything that's on the way to being custom cool is welcome as well. You see right here, cars under construction, completely welcome to come to Custom Car Revival. Man, that gold T-bird just so cool. And the panel paint on this truck is amazing. Somebody at 3M put their kid through college with just the profits off the tape on that truck. This little 35, you saw on the screen there, I'll show it a little bit more a little later. It's very cool, very old school, and still in the condition it was back in the old days. Here's the interior of that car. I dig that interior in such a big way. I'm going to have to steal a couple ideas from there if I can ever get around to being able to build a car again. That's just a wicked cool old ride. And the only thing I'd do to that is lower it and put it in my name, but I'm kind of a stickler for lowered cars. You can see here there's not just one make and model, there's all kinds of stuff here, and there's all kinds of tricks done to them. So this car here, you can see the rear fenders of it, has a bunch of road rash from rocks. It's actually driven. Look at that beautiful car. And I would love to tell you more about each of these cars, but I was too busy talking with people and having fun to get a little bit of interview here and there like I had actually kind of planned on. Most of my best laid plans fall away. There we go. That is the coolest four-door Tri-5 you'll ever see.
All right, well, here we are, day 2 in Indy, and we are at the actual event, the Custom Car Revival. It's being held at the Union Jack Pub, not too far from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And let me show you some cars.
You'll notice a lot of these cars, of course, were at the host hotel, but there is a handful in here that weren't. I don't think I showed Jason's car when we were over the hotel. Love that 56, such a beautiful 56 Ford. You could see it was a little rainy on Saturday morning, so we had a little bit of rain shower roll through, but not too bad a deal. I don't think anybody really minded all that much. It just made some people go out and re-chamois their cars. So as you're watching this video, I want you to think about what your favorite custom touches were on any of these cars. I want to hear what they are. Like this truck, the Corvette Corvette headlights, the dash. I mean, so much of it is so wild and custom outside the realm of what the truck started as. The back of it, that shape in the back. I mean, that thing is one into the other, just totally custom. I love that truck. But what's your favorite trick you see in a custom car that's in this grouping here? Is a certain chop? Is a certain headlight treatment? Certain taillight treatment? Maybe paint job? What is it that trips your trigger is what I'm interested in. We had some nice cloud cover early in the morning. Unfortunately, later in the day, the sun came out and it got a little brutal, but not nearly as bad as it's been back here in Kansas. Oh, here's a subtle reminder for all of you when you leave a comment, though. Hey, just, don't be a dick. As you can see, we're much tighter packed over at the show than we were at the host hotel, and there's also more cars and there's more spectators, so I'm always glad to show you the hotel footage because it's just going to be a little better shot than how tightly the cars are all packed here. This 40 here might have been one of our favorites the whole weekend, and I didn't get enough shots of it because now we've moved on to this beauty here. That Pontiac grill looks so good in that Merc. Here's a little more wild Tri-5. Check out that steering wheel. Love the stripes in the interior as well. great paint job. This work was just phenomenal. And right next to it, another one. And a beautiful shoebox, and another shoebox. This ultra hard chop on this old, I believe it's a Plymouth Savoy. Very, very heavy chop on it. There's the whale. It was awesome to see Dale and his wife. They'd come up from Texas. We got to hang out with them for a little bit. The parking lot was about as full as you could make it and still be able to get anything in and back out. Great looking 41 here. And again, the truck that has all the panels and all the time in the layout, just way, way cool. So at the host hotel, there was a 3-window Zephyr that Voodoo Larry brought. There was also a 3-window Zephyr on a trailer that Dan from St. Louis got as he was rolling through town apparently, and they stopped in to see everybody. And then at the back of the show here, a couple cars away from this one, oh, by the way, look at this. Look at the fadeaway fenders. Very cool, old school custom. Been together for a pretty long time for what it looks like. And just about perfect. So a couple cars away from this was a 3rd Zephyr. So awesome to see 3 of them in a short time span of 24 hours there. But not something you get to see every day, is that many Zephyrs. I thought I showed it to you here, but maybe that's towards the end of this video. If you'd like to check out the Custom Car Revival next year, just go to CustomCarRevival.com. Look for them on Facebook. Look for them on Instagram, and get all the details of next year's show. It's going to be in Indy again. It's always in Indy, and it's typically the 2nd weekend of June. But if you're a custom car fanatic like I am, you definitely need to get out there and check it out. All the way from California, such a long drive with such a pretty car. And here's that Zephyr. That's it for my coverage of the show. I wish I had more to show you, but honestly, I've showed a lot of these cars a couple times. So thank you for watching. Make sure you click subscribe and like, and we'll show you what's going on the next time I hit a show.